City Clerk, do we have any speakers? Thank you. Again, I'll ask the speakers I'll mention their names 3 at a time. Alan Ferdman, followed by Elaine Ballas, followed by, looks like Beta Bashwan. So I apologize for that mispronunciation. Welcome, Alan.
Good evening again, City Council. My name is Alan Ferdman, and I'm the chair of the Canyon Country Advisory Committee. Now, I came here tonight because I couldn't see any benefit to anybody living here in Santa Clarita if we in Santa Clarita took possession of Hart Park and spent our money to maintain it, since the county is doing it currently. And what I was looking for in a presentation was some really good reasons that would make me come up here and say, you know, that's a really great idea. But I didn't hear any. All I heard was that there are a lot of stuff going on in Hart Park. County's paying for the parts that they have. They were paying to keep the senior center where it was. They were doing all those things. Why do we want to all of a sudden take it over? Well, so I guess I can answer Steve Petzel's question. The reason why we have never put the community in charge of the library is because you just didn't want it. You wanted to maintain ultimate control. And I think here's another example of the city council and city staff saying, oh my gosh, here's something within the city and we don't control it. So we better take it over. Well, let me remind you that when you took over the library, you promised us you were going to tell us about all the money you were going to save. Never heard a word. When you decided to buy all of the light fixtures and convert all the lighting, you were going to tell us and show us all the money you were going to save, and you never told us a word. So this is just another situation where it doesn't really make financial sense. It's not going to give us a bunch of more activities that are going to occur there. It's just about power. And I think that's the wrong thing for our city council to pursue. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna ask to hold the applause, please. Thank you, Alan. Elaine Ballas, followed by Betty, followed by Sylvia Tamarana.
I just have a couple of questions. If we control the park and take it back, I was kind of looking for the financial breakdown, but I guess there isn't one yet. But would we have more control then to say, okay, we can mandate what we want since we own it and it's not the county, like you don't have to show proof of vaccination because you're going indoors, or you don't have to wear a mask or anything like that. And kind of going back, maybe this is off track, but with the basketball program that you were talking about, I guess I'm not understanding why we can't just say no, and why if we own the property, we can't say no and control it. I'm a little confused here, so I'd like some clarification on that. And I guess when we'll find out about how much it's going to cost us. But if we own the stuff and we own the land and everything, then I think we should be able to have our own rules. And if it's our community basketball, why can't we control it? I don't understand why the county's controlling it unless it's a county facility, or is it a county program? I'm a little confused here, so I'd like some clarification on what's going on, because if it's ours, we should make our own rules, but we do need to stand up and just say no, because they're just running all over us. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, help me with the pronunciation of your name. I honestly, I can't read the writing.
I think you're trying to say Becky.
Okay.
And the last name's Basham.
Becky Basham.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, it must be my handwriting.
It's all right. We got it straightened out, and welcome.
Thank you. I came to speak today because I am a 17-year volunteer in Hart Park. I have been on their board for the last 15 years. I am the vice president on their board, and Lorene West is our president. I find that we were all surprised in the park that this was happening, and I don't understand that. I think it could have been disclosed to us in a much better way. Our board has not had board meetings on a consistent basis for a year and a half, and the last two were canceled by Lorene. The last one less than a week ago because there was nothing to discuss. So until the Signal article came out, none of us who work there, who volunteer there, who spend our lives there, knew this was happening. Whether or not it's a good idea or a bad idea is to be found out. But I believe you need a citizens committee to work on this, and I volunteered to be number one. I would like this to work out well for everybody, the county, the city, and especially Bill Hart's Park. And it's 265 acres, my dear.
She's right on that.
That is his will, and he wants us to enjoy his property. The pictures you've shown were all in the Historical Society, which is really a separate organization and not implicated under Bill Hart's will. So it gets very complicated, and I hope we can work it out. But let's find a way for these citizens to be involved in this. You don't want another episode like you had with the library. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Becky. The next speaker is Sylvia, followed by Steve Petzel, followed by Evan Decker. Sylvia,
Hello.
could you pronounce your last name?
Morano. Alta Morano.
Alta Morano. Thank you.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for allowing me to express my opinion about this potential transfer of ownership to the city of Santa Clarita. They were talking about, I think someone was talking about Thanksgiving. And this is just such a perfect time to thank William S. Hart for granting us this beautiful treasure. And in his will, he wanted it to be used by the community for it to maintain its character and to be used by the community at large. My concern is that if it is transferred, number one, what's the benefit of transferring it? Unless there's something that we don't know about, perhaps land use, land development, perhaps we're going to have some of those buildings, placed nearby, as they have in Main Street. I hope not. But either way, I'm very, very disappointed about the potential of it transferring to the city of Santa Clarita, especially in light of the fact that William S. Hart Park has been there for the community. When there's wildfires, the animal handlers take all the animals and house them. They evacuate them. They're always there, with the children. They give tours of the barnyard as William S. Hart wished it. And we have the museum. We offer so much to the community and the community at large. And I would hate for anything to change. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Steve Petzel, followed by Evan Decker.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I got to know a lot about William Hart earlier this year when the Hart District was going after the Indian mascot at Hart High. This is his book, My Life East and West. I believe that I don't exactly understand how this appeared on the agenda tonight. It seems to be an inside job by the staff. Certainly, your council norms and procedures require like 3 of you to agree to put something on the agenda. Still, nobody still understands exactly how this all works. I don't remember at a previous meeting somebody entertaining the idea that this item be placed on the agenda. So we learn about it in a Signal article. I think that somebody should have maybe gone to the Parks and Recreation Committee and brought it up to them, then have a Park and Recreation Commission member recommend it to the board to perhaps be put on the agenda so you could put it on the agenda. We should not have learned about it through a surprise article in the Signal. But at its heart, I believe that William S. Hart's will should be honored. And in that, he asked that the property be deeded to Los Angeles County forever. That means into perpetuity. So I don't know why we would entertain this idea at this time, knowing the conditions. I know that, you can use those successors and assigns or whatever you want. I suspect that's what you'll do. But certainly, William S. Hart owned another property here in Los Angeles County, and that was the home he had down in what is now the West Hollywood area. And his son, William Hart Jr., objected to the transfer from Los Angeles City to the city of West Hollywood. What happened was that West Hollywood ended up leasing that property from William S. Hart for 30 years. But his son also wanted an accounting for the funds that had been provided by William S. Hart to preserve that property. William S. Hart gave $150,000 to the County of Los Angeles to preserve that property, and I don't know whether there's been a proper accounting for how those funds have been used over the years. But certainly any ideas that you have of taking this over, that money should be fully accounted for. So I am somewhat disappointed in the upkeep of the property. The mansion, I think, has fallen into somewhat disrepair, especially the patio area down in front. So I think that you should go to Catherine Barger and tell her to have the county fulfill its responsibility of taking over that property before you discuss taking it over and investing our funds into it. Thank you.
Thank you. Evan Decker, followed by Santa Riura. Welcome, Evan.
Hello, Mayor and City Council people. I am a 8-year volunteer of William S. Hart Park. I give tours of the mansion. I've been doing that since I was 16 years old, as well as volunteering in the barnyard and helping out with various volunteer projects and events. I find it pretty displeasing that there's some backdoor deals with taking ownership of William S. Hart Park. I think, as it is specified here in William S. Hart's last will and testament, that it does go to the county, and I think we need to honor that wish. I don't see the city being able to take over and financially be responsible for Hart Park. I think the county, despite, yes, there's not a lot of money, and, with what's been going on the last year and a half, 2 years, it's still there. The mansion is still there. I was actually up there not even a week ago, and it's there. And so I just feel that we should honor Bill Hart's last dying wish. And, we already provide, as Sylvia said, all these different programs. I mean, shoot, December 18th, we're doing a holiday light tour in the barnyard with the gift store will be open, and Santa will be there. So yes, we provide plenty of programs in the community, and I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Evan. Santa Riura? Santa Rivera. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Regarding the William S. Hart Park, I also do have a lot of questions. I do see a lot of concern as regards to keeping it as original as possible and not interfering with anything like somebody mentioned, maybe building something on there. But I do agree that if we at least figure out any ways that we can slowly remove ourselves from LA County and start taking care of ourselves, so then that way we don't have to be coming here and telling you guys to do things that you guys feel you can't do because you have to follow LA County. So I do think that it's a good idea, but I agree that you guys need to be transparent. It shouldn't be, things should not be, people shouldn't be hit blindsided by, these things. I agree that more community should be involved. And I think that us as a community, if we learn to work together, we can learn to do our own things away from having to ask LA County permission. And I think that we could continue to do what William S. Hart wanted. I don't think that he saw LA County turning into what it has become. LA County is huge, and there's a lot of diversity, as there is here, but it's a lot harder to please everybody in a larger crowd than it is in a smaller crowd. I do think it's very important, though, that we keep it as the way it is as much as possible without adding anything to it or taking away, or like somebody else also mentioned, maybe doing something with the property other than upkeeping it. And I would also like to know how much it's going to cost for us, to take it. And I heard that he said that we would get a report on that later. But I do agree that the more that we start taking over our own city and not having to go outside to like LA County and ask for permission for this or that, I think that that would be a good idea and a good start. Thank you.
Thank you. Alan Pollock.
Bill? Mayor.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's a written comment.
Well, he's
And he's in support of the discussion taking place. Okay. City Manager.
president of the Historical Society.